One of the most important problems of the middle game strategy is centralization. This kind of subject are not explained very well in the books about middle game, and we can study mostly this problem just studying the games of the top players from the past, especially when we study the games of such famous central strategists as Mikhail Botvinnik, former world champion. Here it's a very important problem. What is the correlation between flank play and central play? Because we know from experience that in many structures, in many central structures, like for example King's Indian structure, we have to use with both sides the flank strategy to conduct your own plans. For example, when white after e7, e5, white close center with d4, d5, then white continue flank strategy on the queen side, and black, on the other hand, start its own counterplay on the flank, on the king's flank. I want to start with one interesting example. One of the last tournament games by Mikhail Botvinnik, it was Hochoven tournament in Vaikanzeya in 1969. He plays with white against Dutch international master Vans Heltinga. You see on this position that black created very strong position in the center, playing e5, e4, took a lot of space, developed pieces very comfortably. Black prepare, for example, move bishop f5, creating much more stronger central position, and on the first side looks that black position is extremely solid. But Botvinnik from his young days, he liked very much to play without castling. He explained in one of his annotations that it was very unusual strategy, and it allowed him to make for opponent unclear what he will do with his king, and to be much faster in conducting his own plan. So in this situation, Botvinnik played fantastic move g2, g4. Of course, it is possible just when his king is not castled. Now, white threat is to play g4, g5, and then white starts to attack pawn e4 with two knights. So black has to do something really serious. For example, if black would play in this position h7, h6, then white can switch to another kind of strategy, from the attack on the center to attack on the king, playing g2, g4, and then maybe king goes to f1, rook plays to g1, and starts very powerful attack, opening g5. So in the game, Dutch international master played move knight bd5, trying to exchange one of the knights. But after g4, g5, suddenly he realized that he has to be very fast with his own counterplay. For example, he can't take now knight c3 because white plays g5 takes f6, knight takes d1, and f6 takes e7, and white wins a piece. So Vans Heltinga decided to play knight takes on e3, sacrificing knight, trying to exploit that Botvinnik strategy is conducted with the king in the center, so king can be vulnerable. White plays pawn takes on e3, knight goes to d5, knight takes on d5, another sacrifice, and queen takes on g5. So black sacrificed two pieces, trying to exploit white king on e1, a bit uncomfortable position. Queen h4 is very powerful threat, but Botvinnik returns one piece with move knight e4. Black plays queen d5, bishop goes to f3. So now we can evaluate the position. White is piece up, black counterplay is close to nothing. There are different tactical threats like knight f6. So white position is completely winning. Just black played few moves afterwards. Knight takes d6, queen d6, castle, and black could resign. Botvinnik applied this strategy quite frequently. For example, it's one of his early games. He played against Efim Bogolyubov in very famous tournament in Nottingham. Botvinnik plays with black. Botvinnik in that times he liked very much to play positions of the Dutch pawn structure. It means that he obtained very strong pawns d5 and f5, which helped him to control central square e4, on which his knight was placed very comfortable. But this position of the knight is not forever, let us say. Because another great world champion, Robert Fischer, used to say the chess in timing. What it means, chess is timing? That all plans has to be conducted with maximal speed. For example, if white is here on the move, white plays knight f5, then white plays f2, f3, trying to eliminate black's stronghold on e4 and create his very powerful counterplay. So it means that in this position, black has to be very fast. And what Botvinnik demonstrates. In this position, he plays g6, g7, g5. Idea is, of course, not attack on the king. Once more, idea is to attack the center and to attack white pieces, which are very well placed in the center. White plays bishop e5, Botvinnik plays g4. So, it's possible to see that white knight, which controls center, is driven out of the powerful position on f3. Bogolyubov played knight e1. Now it's time for Botvinnik to eliminate powerful bishop on e5. Pawn takes, white played bishop takes on e4 first, pawn takes on e4, d takes on e5. What changed in the position? A lot, of course. Now, of course, black has no such powerful center as d5 and f5. Now just one pawn left on f5, but black created weakness on e5 and starts immediately to attack this pawn on e5. Of course, all strategical plans has to be backed by the exact calculation. Because on the top level, many different tactical elements are, of course, incorporated into the calculation, and thus, for this reason, they are incorporated into the plan. For example, you can see now the development. Bogolyubov calculated very interesting tactical counterplay. He plays knight b5, attacks black queen, and forces to take on e5, and then plays rook d7, entering the 7th rank and attacking both black bishops on g5. But as Fischer used to say, chess is timing. Every attack in chess on the top level must be countered with a counter-attack. So Botvinnik plays bishop g5, attacking rook on c1, forcing white to place rook cd1, and then he plays bishop c6, forcing white to take on a7, and now it's another critical moment in the game. Let us say white rook is driven out from the d file. White rook is, of course, very dangerously placed on 7th rank, because we know that 7th rank is the most vulnerable, or 2nd rank is the most vulnerable rank in every position, and especially when both rooks are controlling these ranks, it's really close to tragedy. But here, white control of the d file now is not so powerful, and Botvinnik used it in a very nice way. Rook goes to d8. Now threat is very simple: to get d file and to conduct its own attack. Bogolyubov played a4. Now rook takes on d1, queen takes on d1, rook goes to d8, queen c2, and bishop d2. You can see just from move g5, it was 10 moves. With a powerful flank attack on the center, you can see that black is winning a piece. So in this position, Bogolyubov resigned.